If you have started looking at factory-built homes, you have probably hit the same wall everyone hits. You find a home you like, you work out roughly what it costs, and then you ask the obvious question, can I actually get a mortgage on this? And nobody gives you a straight answer. So let us fix that. One thing before we start, Modular Homes 400 is not a mortgage brokerage. We sell factory-built homes across Ontario. The financing side is handled by James Clark, who is a licensed mortgage agent, and we will come back to him at the end. So everything in the next few minutes is general information, how this works, not what you personally should do. The short answer is yes, you can finance a factory-built home, but almost everything about how you finance it comes down to one thing, which kind of home it is. And there are two, and they behave completely differently. So before you fall in love with a floor plan, find out which one you are looking at. It changes the rate, the amortization, and in some cases, whether a lender will talk to you at all. The first kind is a modular home built to CSA A277. It is built in sections in a factory, brought to your land, and set on a permanent foundation, a basement, a crawl space, an engineered slab. Once that home is attached to land you own, it is real property. Same as any house. And that matters enormously because it means it is generally financed the way any other home is financed. Conventional mortgage, comparable amortization, comparable rate. People are often surprised by that. They expect factory built to mean second class in the eyes of a lender. For this category, on owned land, on a foundation, it usually does not. The second kind is built to CSA Z240 MH. Manufactured homes, park models, a lot of what you see in seasonal and land lease communities. These usually sit on piers or a prepared pad rather than a permanent foundation, and very often they sit on land somebody else owns. When that is the case, the home is personal property, not real property. And personal property gets financed like personal property, chattel loans, shorter terms, higher rates, a much smaller pool of lenders willing to write it. That is not a reason to avoid them. Plenty of people buy them and are very happy. It is a reason to know what you are buying before you sign anything. Here's the part that actually stops most purchases. And it is not credit, it is timing. A normal construction mortgage releases money in stages as work gets done on your property. Foundation goes in, a lender inspects, money comes out. Framing goes up, inspection, money comes out. That works because at every stage, there is something standing on your land the lender can value. Factory-built housing turns that on its head. Most of the money gets spent inside a plant. Sometimes months before anything arrives at your property. So at the exact moment the bill is biggest, there is nothing on your land at all. Nothing for a lender to look at, nothing to secure against. That is the gap. And if you find out about it after you have placed an order, you have already lost most of your options for dealing with it. There are three ways through, and most buyers use some combination. The first is equity in a property you already own. Usually a secured line of credit against your existing home. If you have it, this is the simplest route. The second is finding a lender ahead of time who will advance against factory milestones instead of site milestones. They exist. There are fewer of them than there should be, and you need to be talking to them before you order, not after. The third is structuring the purchase agreement so the payments line up with money you actually have available when it is due. That is the one we can influence directly, and it is how we write our agreements. It does not solve every situation, and we will say so at the start if yours is one it does not solve. 5 things, and having them ready shortens this considerably. Your land and confirmation, it is zoned for what you want to put on it. A complete purchase price with the site work priced separately, not a base price with an open-ended blank next to servicing. Your foundation details, which certification the home carries, and what warranty comes with it, which varies by manufacturer and is not uniform, and an appraisal, which will take longer than it would on a resale house because there are fewer comparable sales to work from. Leased land, no permanent foundation, site preparation that has not been priced, bringing a lender in after the order is placed. And assuming the sticker price is the delivered price, it is not, and a lender underwrites the delivered figure, not the brochure figure. Before you choose a model, get a written read on what you can finance and how the money is going to flow. One conversation. It tells you which homes are genuinely open to you, what your site budget actually is, and whether your timeline is realistic. That conversation is free, and it is with James Clark. James is our general manager, and he is also a licensed mortgage agent, an unusual combination, and the reason he can answer both halves of the question at the same table. There is a link below and a written version of everything in this video on our website.